So in the last video, we looked at the friar and his relationship with Romeo. Now in 2:5, we get Juliet waiting for the nurse. Now, what we see again when Juliet speaks alone is the beauty and intensity of her language, the imagery, the foreshadowing, the fearful foreshadowing, or this is all leading to tragedy. And that's great, and that's young love, and that's the philosopher nature of her, and she's so smart and so vivid and fantastic a character, Juliet. But her foil, her best friend, even though she has an implied friendship with Tybalt, which we never really get to see, her closest partner is the nurse. And the nurse is a mentor, in a way, kind of like the friar is to Romeo. But she's very different, isn't she? She's bawdy, she makes sexual jokes, she has a real physical intimacy. She breastfed Juliet, but also she raised her completely. The nurse lost her child and her husband, and we can see that intimacy of relationship transposed onto her relationship with Juliet. And we see the fun she plays at taunting her and teasing her when she comes back from this journey where she's told Romeo that they can be married and, making the plan. So I think all those things are worth thinking about, and that the genius in this scene isn't just Juliet's beautiful imagery and language. It's moving from poetry into character relationships. So Juliet and the nurse being actual characters who are not just speaking words into the air, but are two characters that are pushing against each other. So let's begin by looking at Juliet's speech. The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Oh no, maybe she can't meet him. Oh, that's not so. Oh, she's lame! It's so funny language, isn't it? That's so teenage. That's so teenage. I mean, here it could mean lame of foot. Like her walking is, but I like to think of her as being, she thinks of her as a bit of a loser. Love's heralds should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glide than sun's beams. Lovers, messengers, that's messenger. The messenger of love should just be thought, which go faster, driving back shadows over luring hills. Therefore do nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind swift Cupid wings. So this is about dreaming, fantasy of speed. And that's in contrast to this aged, lame nurse. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. Yet she is not come. It's just been 3 hours. But there's no such thing as 3 long hours. But I think it is when you are waiting for something. Time elongates, doesn't it? And she hasn't come. Oh, if she had what I felt, and if she was young in blood, she would be as swift as a ball, emotion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Hilarious. Hilarious. Age versus youth. She's judging age. And, Hamlet says something along these lines to his mother, who remarries shortly after his father's death. You're old. The blood should run cold. The passion of love and desire is a young person's thing. And I think that's an interesting idea. Again, it's definitely coming out of a teenage, self-centered voice here. Oh, she come right away. She switches take. She knows how to butter her up. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Okay, so look at the contrast. That's great, right? She's kissing up. Oh, I'm weary. Give me leave a while. My bones ache. What a jaunt have I had. Oh, I wish I had you. I wish you had my bones and I thy news. Trade, trade, trade. She wants to trade. Come, pray thee, speak, good nurse, speak. Look, it's impatient. It's just impatient. And watch the nurse wind her up on purpose. Ah, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Did you not see I'm out of breath? Like, she's asking, notice me. She's annoyed. She's like, all you're interested in is your message, not how I feel. How art thou, so teenage, how art thou out of breath when you have breath to say you're out of breath? Look, is it good or bad? Just say that. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad? Repeating, like just real impatience. Impatience. Sorry. Well, now, look, she is deliberate annoying of Juliet. Look, you don't know how to choose a guy. Romeo, no, not he. Okay, look, his face is amazing. His leg is really amazing. For a hand, a foot, a body, they're not that amazing. Yet they are past compare. What? So she doesn't want to talk about these things, but he is very good looking. I think that's very funny. He's not the most polite person. Not the most polite. But he is gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, once serve God. And then she really, have you eaten? Whoa. I knew all of this before. Did he talk about marriage? Oh, my head aches. What a head have I? It beats as if it were 20 pieces. Clue, hint, 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 hint. Press my head. I think it's a wind up. I think it's a way of pay attention to me. I think it's all those things. And I think it shows me a lot about their relationship. My back on the other side. Oh, my back. Oh, the other side. I think she is massaging. I think she is massaging her. Maybe. Be sure your heart for sending me runabout to catch my death with jaunting up and down. I'm sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse. Tell me what says, my love. Here she's playing the game. 3. She's really kissing him. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and a virtuous. Where's your mother? Now she's really messing with her. She's playing with her expectations. She's manipulating her. She's making her more impatient. Where's my mother? She's within. Where should she be? You're so weird. Your love says like an honest gentleman. Where's your mother? Ugh, are you so hot? Mary, come, I trow. This is pulsis for my aching bones. Henceforth, do your messages yourself. Are you so hot? Do it yourself next time. Resentful, but I'd say playfully. You're such a come. What says Romeo? Have you got leave to go to Shrift today? Shrift, I think, is some sort of Catholic ceremony. I don't know, but it's to go to church. Are you allowed to go to church? By the way, notice how different it is for men and women. The boys wander around. Romeo doesn't come back for days. His parents send Benvolio to go talk to them because they're worried he's depressed. He comes and goes as he pleases. All those guys. Whereas for the girls, men versus women in terms of their freedom to roam, it's worth thinking about. Romeo doesn't have leave. He doesn't need leave. Then hie you to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you wife. So it's going to happen. Now comes the wanton blood on your cheeks. She's happy now. Shows it was a game. They'll be in scarlet strait at any news. I'm the drudge and toil in your delight. I'm the worker to make you happy, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Oops, let me just fix that. Again, remember, you'll learn to fall on your back. I think this is sexual imagery of losing your virginity, perhaps. And the nurse is motivated by that. You know, the nurse believes in Romeo and Juliet, but in the end of the day, when it comes to pushing the Paris agenda, she says, look, you've had your fun, forget about it. The fun being sex, maybe. And she's with Juliet for that, but she's a powerful young lady, and marriage is a different thing. Woohoo! High to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell. She's so happy. So what I want you to think about in this scene right at the bottom is, what can you tell me about the relationship between Juliet and the nurse? They only appear together a few times in the play, but that intimacy, that intensity is really important. Then the scene to contrast this with is with the announcement of the death of Tybalt. And then after Juliet is forced to marry Paris and go through with her plans of committing suicide, she doesn't tell the nurse, and they do have a bit of a falling out, and it is the nurse that finds her dead body. All of those are ways of thinking about this relationship throughout the play as a whole. I think it is one of the more developed relationships in the play, and certainly Juliet's relationship with the nurse is much better than it is with her own mother.